Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a little bit of an interesting treat today, man, because I was not expecting to have this kill video. I was going in, giving it my best effort, seeing how much we could get the plasma damage up by with the new Stealth Suit Spider-Man synergy, and we actually managed to one-shot Star-Lord in Labyrinth of Legends. Now, look at that health pool, man. It's just under 3.4 million. The interior bosses in Labyrinth of Legends are absolutely nuts. They're like 7 Realm of Legends bosses rolled into one, and then add like evade and enrage timer and a few other mechanics depending on the fight. But Star-Lord, you know, he's pretty straightforward. You've got the evade, you've got the enrage timer, and you've got a lot of hit points there. Now, what the brand new synergy with Stealth Suit Spider-Man does for Iron Man Infinity War is extends the duration of his plasma and also his incinerate effects by 50%. Now, the reason the synergy is such a big deal is firstly, it gives you a much easier time keeping up the plasma in longer fights, but also it allows you more time to either parry heavy or heavy counter to merge plasma when you have both an incinerate and a shock debuff on the opponent, and if you merge with a heavy attack, it's going to give you the attack bonus that you get while using a heavy attack, and thus double the damage of that plasma. So if you keep throwing on these big plasmas and you can refresh them much easier, the damage ramp up becomes really nice. So you're going to see here, we're baiting out heavy attacks. Star-Lord actually has a really good opportunity in Labyrinth of Legends to heavy counter his heavy. So after a successful heavy counter, we've applied a mega plasma, which is dealing 841 damage every half a second. So every second, he's taking about 1,600 damage, very close to 1,700 actually, and that's per stack of plasma. So the objective in this fight is to continue to keep the plasma up and then apply more and more plasma, all while using the heavy counter method to merge the incinerate and also the shock. So, you know, there's a fair bit to this champion, and if you're not used to watching Iron Man Infinity War gameplay, it might seem a little bit confusing at first, but to put it simply as possible, the rotation is do a special 2 to get incinerate, then special 1 to get shock, and then use a heavy attack to merge both the shock and also the incinerate. You can also merge the shock and incinerate via using a medium attack. However, if you do that, you are going to get 50% less damage on the plasma. So here you can see we've got 2 stacks of plasma now, so we're dealing just over 3,200 damage every single second. And as we ramp up the plasma more and more, you're going to see his health just start to drain faster and faster and faster. At this point, it's been about 2 and a bit minutes, and we haven't really taken him down much at all, because again, Iron Man Infinity War with the plasma is all about the ramp up here. There's not much damage you have off his base attacks. The big damage from Iron Man Infinity War comes from applying as much plasma as you possibly can and keeping it up, because you're going to see toward the end of this video, we're dealing about 12 to 14,000 damage every single second via the plasma damage over time. So now we're about to go for plasma merge number 3. We fire off the special 1, we force hold block, so bait out a heavy attack of Star-Lord's there, throw our heavy, and now we have 3 stacks of plasma, so this is dealing about 5,000 damage per second, just over, you can see in 2 ticks of 2,500. So yeah, the damage is really starting to lay into this man a little bit more now. We're kind of ramping him up a little bit nicer, but you're going to see just the damage escalate and escalate and escalate, which is what I really like. However, although the synergy is very nice for Iron Man Infinity War, in comparison to some other champions, he is still quite stressful to play, and here you can see we had the evade on the special too, so that was really annoying. He just managed to dodge out of that one, so we lost the opportunity to gain another incinerate and a plasma, so that's a little bit of a pain in the ass there, but hey, that's Labyrinth of Legends and the super fun evade node from you. You know, we've already got quite a bit of damage rolling via the 3 stacks of plasma already, so the priority is make sure we keep those stacks of plasma up and do not lose them. So here we go for another incinerate again against Labyrinth of Legends Star-Lord, because he does have an enrage timer and 2 different phases. In the early phase, I'm trying to utilize kind of blocking and baiting out heavy attacks as much as possible, and also occasionally doing some intercepts like 4 combo draft backs whenever I do have a good opportunity to do so. We then fire off a special 1 to apply shock, so we got the shock, we have the incinerate, it's holding block now, bait out a heavy, then heavy counter, merge the 2, and then we are on to 4 stacks of plasma. So at 4 stacks, as you can see, we are dealing about 6,700 damage every single second across 2 stacks of about 3,350. And this point, when he's on about 74%, is literally about the halfway mark when it comes to this fight. So, you know, it's going to go much, much faster now as long as we can stay aggressive and keep those stacks up, keep that damage building as much as we possibly can. Now, I think, to the best of my knowledge, I kind of had a bit of a look on YouTube before, didn't do a massive deep dive, but I looked for Iron Man Infinity War versus Star-Lord kills in Labyrinth of Legends, and I know before this synergy, a few people did come very close to soloing Star-Lord, but I don't think anybody has done a full solo of Star-Lord with Iron Man Infinity War yet, especially with an Iron Man Infinity War that isn't like rank 5 5-star, and the Awakened ability actually can be a tremendous benefit to this champion, because you can use it for a source of power gain. If you're playing like really on the edge, you can go in at 15% and then get like a massive burst of power gain, and if you have that power gain and can play quite smart with it as well, you're going to have a lot more damage output because it's going to allow you to get the plasma much, much quicker. So there are different ways that you can play Iron Man Infinity War at kind of lower percentages with the Awakened ability to really bolster up the damage a little bit more, but bear in mind the 6-star could be rank 2, it could be Awakened, it could be a maxed out 5-star, it could have boost as well, so there are a lot more ways on top of this video today to get even more damage output when it does come to this champion. After some really smooth play in there, we have managed to secure 6 stacks of plasma now, which is a really great time, man. You can see we are dealing just over 10,000 damage every single second, so that's about 600,000 damage every minute. So yeah, that's really, really awesome, man. You know, when you look at the scale of the damage over time of the plasma and how much it really can impact some of these bigger health pools on longer fights, it's a little bit crazy, man. It is a little bit crazy, some of the potential of Iron Man Infinity War, but arguably he is a little bit niche and somewhat difficult to pull off in these scenarios, because you do need to be able to heavy attack or heavy counter in some way, shape or form in order to get the really, really big damage output. I believe there's a method like using the heavy attack and the special 3 and kind of synchronization, maybe to get like 1 or 2 charged plasma stacks, so I'm not really too sure how to pull off that method successfully. I've tried it a couple of times in the past, I've never been able to pull it off successfully, so yeah, I just need to do a little bit more research into that one and figure it out. But I think you're like merging the plasma stacks, especially with the brand new Spider-Man synergy, and just using heavy attacks or heavy counters is really, really straightforward to do, just because that 50% duration gives you so much more time. And as you've probably noticed in this fight, there are many intervals where the plasma would have fallen off or the incinerate would have fallen off if we didn't have the Spider-Man synergy. So yeah, I'm just really fortunate that this brand new synergy came out to really pump up Iron Man Infinity War. But in all fairness, I would like to see them increase the base duration of his plasma and incinerate by 50%, and then make the Spider-Man synergy add another 50% on top of that, because, you know, it's still, you got to play very, very aggressively, very, very on the ball to keep it up. You can see there, man, we are very, very close to losing the plasma stacks there, so we almost messed it up. There's probably about half a second in that cheeky little save there, so I'm very, very grateful that we did manage to sort that one out. And with 7 stacks, we're dealing just over 12,000 damage every single second. The incinerate's on top of that now, so I'm just trying to get one more merger in order to get that massive like 14k damage every single second. And you can see, like, looking at Star-Lord's health, man, it's completely different from the start of the fight. Got him in assassin's range, and we are dealing close to 14,000 damage every single second. So yeah, all we need to do is just keep it up for about, you know, 20 more seconds, and this man is straight in the bin. So I love it, man. The damage is absolutely phenomenal once you can get those stacks up. But as you can see as well, it does require quite a bit of time and quite a bit of health to ramp this damage up. I tried in Realm of Legends, I couldn't get like past 2 or 3 stacks in most fights before the opponent was just like straight up dead, including Realm of Legends Wolverine, even though I wasn't like trying to heal block him, you know, just absolutely tore through him regardless. On this final set of stacks, how much damage are we dealing? We're dealing, you know, somewhere close to about 15,000 damage every single second. An amazing performance overall from Iron Man there, really does show his ramp up damage potential. So we finished in 520 hits and a kill time of just under 9 minutes there. So overall, mate, a really solid effort. Also, I wanted to give a quick shout out to the Legend Idolist and bring up his 565 races against Labyrinth Star-Lord. So our kill time was about 8 minutes and 55 seconds there. So we managed to beat at 6-star rank 1 Unawakened, Proxima Midnight, a maxed out Loki, a maxed out Blade, a maxed out Medusa as well, a maxed out Aegon. But Aegon, you know, he needs the first fight to ramp up anyway, so I guess Aegon doesn't really count too much. We got very close to Stark Enhanced Spider-Man there. So yeah, maxed out. Probably would have beaten Stark Enhanced Spider-Man. So very, very cool stuff from Iron Man Infinity War. But ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy today's video, please do smash that like button. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.